Hi dear friends and subscribers, welcome to the Cricket Happening Show with your host Ram today. And well, we are going to look at the second day's play in the Boxing Day test between Australia and Sri Lanka, where Australia are in a very commanding position right now, because Sri Lanka are the ones who have to do all the hard work, because Australia are 284 runs in front and they have put up a score of 440 for 8 at close of play on the second day of the second test match, this Boxing Day test match which was played at the MCG. Well, Australia resumed their innings at the overnight score of 117 for 3, and then it was Shane Watson and Michael Clarke at the wicket, and both of them took that to a record partnership. In fact, that was a record 4th wicket partnership between Michael Clarke and Shane Watson, which took the score to 311. And what Michael Clarke, the captain, did, he notched up his 5th century in 2012. What an achievement that is. Not only that, he also became the first Australian player. In fact, Ponting had the record of the most runs in a calendar year in Australian for Australia as far as runs scored in one calendar year is concerned. In fact, Michael Clarke now becomes the person who has actually surpassed Ricky Ponting and gone on to become the person who has scored the maximum number of runs in a calendar year for Australia. And what an achievement. And Clarke, what a great year this has been for him. 2012, I think Michael Clarke, it has been Michael Clarke's year, and the captaincy absolutely unfazes him. He has been having no effect on him. He has been delivering results right through, right, left and center. And Michael Clarke's contribution was 106 runs of 14 fours. And in the first session there was no reward for Sri Lanka, and they had to really toil hard. At the other end, Shane Watson, well, he was playing his strokes too, and he was also playing some very nice strokes, and he was giving good support to Michael Clarke. Michael Clarke, well, he was using his feet well, but what was essential was that in the first session, in fact, Sri Lanka could get no reward. They had to really toil hard, and it was very difficult for them. They had to wait till the score reached 311. Now that is something. And also one more thing that I would like to tell you, dear friends and subscribers, is Michael Clarke was getting his first ever test century at the MCG. What an achievement. So as I said, Michael Clarke on his 106 did a couple of things which broke a lot of records. And well, everything was going well till 307. So it was a very good partnership. From 117 for 3, they carried on the Australian total to 311, and that was the time the 4th wicket fell when the stand was broken by Shaminda Ranga, and they took Sri Lanka to wait till the new ball was taken. Only when the new ball was taken did Sri Lanka actually get the breakthrough. And yes, it was Shaminda Ranga took the wicket of Michael Clarke, who edged it to the slips. Mahela Jayawardene taking a very good catch just above his head, and he was walking for 106 with 14 boundaries. After that, Shane Watson, then suddenly wickets started going. Once Michael Clarke left, there were 2 more wickets which fell in quick succession. With Shane Watson, actually, as you know, he has had just 2 centuries in 2 years, and that too he has 1950s, but every time Shane Watson approaches his century, there is something which happens and Shane Watson actually loses his wicket, and that is what precisely happened. And actually it was Damika Prasad who actually tempted him with a bouncer, which Shane Watson tried to hook it, but only managed in top edging it, and Samaraveera took a very good catch. And Shane Watson was gone for 83 with 8 fours and 1 6. And as I said, Michael Clarke was with twinkling feet, he was dancing down to the spinners, and also Shane Watson also did the same. And well, Michael Clarke's contribution was 106 with 14 fours. After that, Matthew Wade was the next to go, as Prasad came in and picked up the wicket of Matthew Wade for 1. He was caught by Ranga, and the score became 315 for 6. And then a brief partnership between Michael Hussey and Mitchell Johnson, which took on the score to 376. So that was a 61-run stand, where Michael Hussey, well, he contributed 34 runs of 68 balls with 4 fours, becoming a victim of Dilshan. And what a catch from Rangana Herath in the boundary. Superb catch from Rangana Herath. The ball is going away from him. He dived full length and clung on to it, and Michael Hussey was walking for 34 with 4 boundaries. But after that, Peter Siddle, well, he was dismissed by Ranga for 13, caught by Jayawardene without scoring any boundary. And at the close, Mitchell Johnson, not only with the ball yesterday, he really stayed there. He played an innings of real maturity, I would say, because at the end of the day, Mitchell Johnson had seen to it that Australia were 440 for 8 at close of play. Even though they lost quick wickets, if you see the scoring there, from 311 when Clarke departed, in fact it was till 376 they lost all the 4 wickets. So they needed someone to stay there and actually build up the lead. And Mitchell Johnson, showing his all-round capability, already taken 4 wickets, as you know, in the first innings. Now with the bat also he's shown he was not out on a very good 73, which he has been crafted of just 133 balls with 6 fours. He was really playing the ball on merit, and Nathan Lyon was keeping him company, not out of not. And Australia finishing off the second day of the Boxing Day Test at 440 for 8. Australia are 284 runs ahead. And Mitchell Johnson, it would be interesting to see, with 2 wickets to go, whether Mitchell Johnson could go on to a century, 27 runs. What a proud moment that would be for Mitchell Johnson, and what a comeback that would be for Mitchell Johnson into the Australian team. Now, let me look at the bowling figures. Vellagadra, and also let me also tell you that Chanaka Vellagadra got a hamstring injury and he was ruled out of the match. So that is not good news, because Chanaka Vellagadra, as you know, in the first test took a lot of wickets, and that is not good news for Sri Lanka, I thought, because Vellagadra is a good bowler. He has been a wicket-taking bowler. If you see his bowling, he has been bowling very well in the right areas. 14.4 over 6 made and 38 runs and no wicket, and he had a hamstring injury and he had to go off, unfortunately. So that was not something that Sri Lanka would have wanted, but unfortunately, as you know, injuries are a part of the game, and that's what precisely happened. Now, as far as Eranga was concerned, Eranga was good. With the new ball, he was pretty sharp. 26.2 overs, 2 maidens, 106 runs and 2 wickets. Damika Prasad also bowled well. He was the most successful wicket taker. 24 overs, 2 maidens, 102 runs and 3 wickets. Angelo Matthews, 13 overs, 3 maidens, 1 for 47. Rangana Herath was absolutely superb on the second day. In fact, I would say he didn't get good support from the fielders. Even though the catches were difficult, Sri Lanka had to hold to them, but well, they didn't. There was Sangakkara dropped a catch. There was certain other catch which dropped by Angelo Matthews. So basically, Rangana Herath was superb today. He beat the bat consistently, but he couldn't get support. I thought Rangana Herath was the best bowler on show, even though if his figures really don't suggest that. 39 overs, 7 maidens, 95 runs and no wicket. And Tilakathan 12 overs, 1 maiden, 1 for 38. I thought Australia were a bit left off by the Sri Lankan fielders, because 440 would they had already capitalized by striking with the new ball. But probably if the catches had been held properly, then probably I thought that Sri Lanka could have probably bowled out Australia. But well, that was not the case, and the persons who benefited most from that was that partnership between Shane Watson and Michael Clarke for the 4th wicket, and both of them really benefited, I thought. But I can only say that Sri Lanka have not done well on the second day, because if they had held on to their catches and they had stuck on to the task, I thought they could have restricted Australia to a much lower total than what they are right now. But anyway, ifs are ifs and buts are buts. So basically, Australia are the ones 281. They are really dictating terms on the third day. Now the interesting thing on the third day would be to see how Mitchell Johnson goes on to a century, 27 runs short, and whether Sri Lanka are able to restrict Australia to a man, because if they go over 350, they are going to take a lead of over excess of 325. I think Sri Lanka are going to find it very difficult to come back in this match. Even though right now too, I thought that Australia are absolutely on the ascendancy. There's no doubt about it. But basically they have to do something. Sri Lanka has to really conjure up something special here, and probably it would be time for Sangakkara, Jayawardene and Dilshan to really come to the party in a big way. Well, I'm going to leave you from there. So this is as far as the proceedings were concerned on the second day of the Boxing Day Test between Sri Lanka and Australia and the Vaughan Muralidharan Trophy, which was played at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. So now I'll just look at some cricket news here. As far as cricket news is concerned, the news which is coming in from Australia is not good again for Australia, because Shane Watson is in doubt for the Sydney Test. That's the news I have. I'm not going into the details here, but yes, I would like to briefly talk about tomorrow's match which is coming up. Tomorrow is the 2020 match, the second T20 match which is coming up. The only good interesting thing to see, well, we know Bhuvneshwar Kumar had a memorable international debut, but as Mohammad Hafiz, the Pakistan captain, mentioned that he was really surprised that Ravichandran Ashwin was not taken in the team. Whether this time Mohammad Dhoni and the think tank really include I hope that Ashwin comes into the team in the place of Ravindra Jadeja, and we have a very good game on hand. And for India, they would definitely be wanting to level the series here at the Motera Stadium in Ahmedabad, which starts tomorrow. The second T20 match between India and Pakistan tomorrow at the Motera Stadium in Ahmedabad. I'm not going to do any free preview. Like I said, I can only say one thing, that I would really see Ravichandran Ashwin being included in the mix and Ravindra Jadeja being dropped, because I thought that was something very, very surprising, because Ravichandran Ashwin not only is batting and also his bowling is absolutely a key. So I didn't really understand the thinking behind dropping Ravichandran Ashwin in the first T20 match. Well, as I said, we have nothing. I don't have anything else to dwell on. I just would like to finish my cricket broadcast for today right now. Thanks for your company and thanks for watching Cricket Happenings. Your host Ram will see you tomorrow with a T20 report on the match between India and Pakistan, the second T20, which is coming up tomorrow at the Motera Stadium in Ahmedabad. We'll know whether India can level the series or not. Until then, it's goodbye from your host Ram. Thank you.